How you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where I talk about life, I talk about liberty, and I talk about the pursuit of happiness, and I show the world that as Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you're located. Remember, this is the day that the Lord has made. You should rejoice, and you should be glad in it. Busy weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm starting to learn a lot about... I always okay. So in the podcast, I always have a set schedule to where, all right, I'm going to record here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and sometimes it does not work. And this is evident of the last 3 episodes, counting this one, where I'm running late releasing the episode, but it's a good thing though. I'm busy for good things, ministry and stuff with the family and all that stuff. So look, I love you, the Cajun Conservative family, and I do want to bring this content out, but sometimes, and I know you understand that family has to come first, and we have to do things for family. And, I would be a hypocrite if I come on this podcast and I tell you, hey, put your family first, and I don't put my family first. Now, you are part of my family, just not my immediate family, but I love you. I love you guys, and thank you for always standing by me and being patient with me. I know you guys understand. You're a very intelligent audience. I love you guys, and this show is growing. Looked at FeedSpot the other day, and we are still sitting at number 49, but we have gone over 50. This is one of the fastest growing conservative podcasts in my belief. Some people might disagree with that and say, hold on, Isaac, you're not growing that big. Well, I think we are. We're getting followers. We passed 1,000 on Facebook. We're over 600 followers on TikTok. We're growing. We're growing. We're getting people to come to the YouTube channel, to the Rumble channel, and that's all because of you. All because of you, the faithful listener of the Cajun Conservative Show. I love you guys. Thank you, and please continue to help me grow. I don't think I could do this without you. It takes listeners, and you. I respect that you come and have at least an hour with me. And I know there's some listeners I talk to, and they're like, we only can listen 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and your breaks help us out. So thank you. I love you guys, and I thank y'all for what y'all doing. I'm just amazed to see what God has in store for the podcast. We have some things in the works. God is moving mightily, and I just can't wait to share the new endeavors that we are having here at BGS Media. It's just amazing. I'm excited to see what God's doing. God's doing stuff in my personal life and also here. And I love you guys. Once again, you can always reach me at thecajunconservative5@gmail.com. If you have any comments or concerns about the show, or if you have any questions or anything like that. Also, again, go check us out on Facebook. Go check us out on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a TikTok account, I know a lot of you have one. Go ahead and check out the Cajun Conservative Show. I give some good points on there. Sometimes it's raw and just up to the moment stuff. Also, you can go check out the website, thecajunconservativeshow.wordpress.com, and you can go ahead on the platform you're listening on, hit the subscribe button. Remember to go ahead, if you can, leave us a 5-star review, and just help us out that way. That helps us out more than if this is your first time, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the follow button. If you are a faithful listener to the show and have not hit the subscribe button or the follow button, you should. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit the bell. I have a lot of subscribers that don't hit the bell. Hit the bell. That's very important. It gets you all the access of when I release a new episode. So with all that out the way, let's start the news. Ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things have happened this week, and you on a show like this, it's not major news, but you have to put a show together with the content you have. And one of the big stories this week was that the feds seek a gag order against Trump. Now, this was because Trump put out a post, and as we know, Trump has been indicted again for for a crime that I believe it was not there. That I was listening to Mark Levin over the weekend, which Mark Levin is coming out with his new book. I'm planning on pre-ordering it when I get a chance. But Mark Levin made some interesting points in this prosecution that has come against Jack Smith and the prosecutioners that have charged Donald Trump. They didn't charge him with insurrection, and they didn't charge him with something else that they were trying to push into this. indictment, I honestly feel it was rushed because it's kind of funny how every time something major happens with the Bidens, there's a Trump indictment or there's something comes out with the news of Trump, and you have CNN, you have MSNBC, you have all the media just going ahead and just focusing on that. They're not focused on nothing else with the Hunter Biden or the Bidens in general and their failed plans. They don't talk about it. Every time something major happens about the Bidens, there's an indictment. So I think they're using this as a political tool to go ahead and keep the fire off of Hunter Biden and the mainstream media. If they start focusing on that, ladies and gentlemen, Biden's toast. I believe Biden's toast regardless in the next election, unless something happens. But ladies and gentlemen, this story of Hunter Biden is huge. But it's kind of funny how they always have a Trump indictment. Now, like I said, so Trump went ahead and took to social media, and he made a comment about everything that was going on. He said on his TruthSocial account, "If you go after me, I'm coming after you." The attorney of the special counsel, Jack Smith, team argued that the post refers to those involved in the Trump case specifically or by implementing political reports. So Team Trump fired back with a statement on Saturday saying that the post was not in reference to anyone involved in his criminal case. The Truth Post critics is defined in political speech and was in response to the Rhino China-loving, dishonest, self-interest group or super PAC like the ones who funded the Koch brothers and the Club for No Growth, the statement says. So, but with the prosecutor, what he wants to do is, like I said, what happened was a prosecutor said something. Trump comes out with this statement saying, "If you're going after me, I'm coming after you." Now the special counsel wants to put a gag order on Donald Trump to not say nothing with the case. And look, this is a normal occurrence in these indictments. If you remember the first indictment with Alvin Briggs, they didn't want Donald Trump to go ahead and say anything. The second special counsel, the judge did put a gag order on Trump saying, "Look, you cannot even look at evidence without your attorney present." Now the special counsel don't want Donald Trump. They're trying to take away his First Amendment speech, by the way, with this indictment. Now they're even going further and say, "Look, you can't even post about the case because you made a threat." Now, I just read the statement of the Trump team. They said, "Look, this was not pointing to the prosecutor. This was pointing to something else." But ladies and gentlemen, trying to stop Donald Trump from speaking, what are they afraid of? What are they afraid of that Donald Trump's going to say? And ladies and gentlemen, this is the shut up Donald Trump. All these indictments, I said it last time we were together. All these indictments, all these crimes, all these things that are being pushed upon Donald Trump, they're using that. They're using that to go ahead and say, "Listen, Donald Trump should not say anything." It is coming to the point even where you had Mike Pence, the former VP, tell the media that Donald Trump should never, ever be president. And now he got his hand caught in the cookie jar by giving notes to the special counsel. Now he's trying to defend his move. It was funny how Pence was against the first two indictments, but now he's for this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, why they want to shut up Donald Trump? Why they want to keep Donald Trump out of this race? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically for the post that's right here. Now, look, I'm going to say something right here, and look, if you're a Trump supporter, I'm not cutting you down or anything like that. What I'm seeing, I'm hoping that Donald Trump will win. He don't use the presidency as a revenge tool on his enemies, because what Biden is doing now, if Trump does the same thing, we would have to go ahead and call out Trump. And I think this is what the special counsel was trying to bring forth right here. They were saying, "Listen, Trump is telling us, hey, he's coming after us after he gets elected." And you can't do that in the presidency. I know they're trying to shut him up and everything like that. But ladies and gentlemen, it is a question that you have to ask. That Donald Trump he brought out this, "Hey, if you're coming after me, I'm going to come after you if I get elected." And ladies and gentlemen, that is dangerous in my opinion. Look, a lot of people ask me, "Why don't you support Trump? Why do you support Ron DeSantis?" Look, I would probably support Trump if Trump wouldn't go ahead and make statements like this. And that is my fear. My two fears with this upcoming election is this: Donald Trump loses in the primary and runs as an independent. That is my number one fear, because it will split the votes and you have a Democrat walking right into office. Look, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but of more candidates. But at the same time, if Biden really wants to win, that is Biden's hope. That is the only way I see Biden winning, is Donald Trump losing the primary and runs as an independent. And then you have all these people, Donald Trump thinking, well, all these people are going to vote for me, even on the Democrat side. There's hardly no Democrats voting for Trump. There's hardly no independents voting for Trump. They're leaning more to Ron DeSantis, and they're leaning more towards Robert Kennedy. That's one of my fears. And then the second fear I have is that Donald Trump would win the primary, and he would win the presidency. And he does everything that Biden's doing. Oh, Isaac, you trying to compare Donald Trump to Biden? No. My fear, though, is he goes into office, and I've already said that. He's coming with a vengeance. He's coming to say, listen, all these prosecutors that came against me, all these people that accused me falsely, he's gonna go after them. Now, hopefully legally, but it wouldn't. Now, the Democrats have set the standard. We understand that, but that's one of my fears. That's one of my fears. And also, and if I had to bring out a third point of this being a problem, is what I got a news article this morning. MSNBC panel declares 2024 election isn't about policy, economy. It's about preserving democracy. Now, see, Democrats are starting to use this argument. Donald Trump says, I'm going to go ahead and I'm coming after you. If you don't go ahead, since you're coming after me, I'm going to go after you. Now the Democrat in the mainstream media is saying that now this isn't a race about policy, when it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump can go round circles with Joe Biden on policy. If you focus this election on policy, any one of the 12 Republicans that are running could smoke Joe Biden on policy. His policy sucks. This week, I did a TikTok video on this where I found a video of Joy Behar saying that they're talking about why Biden was at 41%. The economy was good. People were buying food. And look, I asked the question, could she be that stupid? No, I don't think that she could be that stupid. She's trying to fit a narrative. And ladies and gentlemen, Biden cannot win on policy. They're trying to make it sound like he's this big, great president that has the economy up and all that, but it's not true. But they can't run. This is why they're talking about it's being about democracy, because Donald Trump makes statements like, "Hey, if you're coming after me, I'm coming after you." Oh my goodness, it's about saving the democracy. Well, if that's the case, they need to go after Joe Biden, because Joe Biden has been going after Donald Trump with indictments and investigations ever since they got into office. Now, you can go ahead, and if you on the left and that listen to the show, you can go ahead and make the argument, well, hasn't the right done all that? Hasn't the committees went ahead and investigate Joe Biden? And didn't they go ahead and try to, they're in the process of impeachment? Ain't that political? You could argue it is, but I don't think it is. I think that the Democrats covered Joe Biden and Hunter Biden so much that the Republicans really want this information out. Yes, it does help them, but it shows how corrupt the Bidens are. And ladies and gentlemen, going back to the MSNBC, this is why they can't talk about policy. This is why they're talking about is saving the democracy, because the big bad orange man has 3 indictments, which he has not been proven guilty of anything. See, that's another thing the left's trying to do. The left's trying to say, well, Donald Trump is indicted. You being indicted does not prove you're guilty. We live in a country that's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But according to some in the media, like MSNBC, that says, oh, we have to go ahead. This is a fight for democracy. Heck on the policy. No, the policy is the main point of it. Why would you go on air and say, hey, this isn't about policy. This is about the person? Ladies and gentlemen, look, I know some politicians. Especially this year. My contacts with politicians have expanded. I met two governor candidates. They both agreed to come on. We just got to work out the dates. Ladies and gentlemen, I've talked to the local reps. I met Clay Higgins a few years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, look, there is some nice people in politics. There is some extreme nice people in politics, but their policies stink. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why the mainstream media is trying to twist us around. See, Donald Trump's bad. Donald Trump's evil. Donald Trump's indicted. It's not about policy no more. It's about the big bad orange man. But it is about policy, because Biden's policies stink. And even on that point, I wish MSNBC would ask me to their panel. I would ask the question, okay, hold on. It's not about policy with Donald Trump in your mind. But what about Ron DeSantis? What about Nikki Haley? What about Tim Scott? What about even Chris Christie and Mike Pence and all the other people that are running? Shouldn't we look at their policy against Joe Biden? And that's when it comes, oh, no, we gotta just focus on Donald Trump. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in the long run, the media think that Biden could beat Donald Trump. I saw an article the other day saying that they were virtually tied, and you had Mike Todd from, of course, MSNBC saying, "I can't believe they tied. It just shows how bad Biden is or how good Trump is." Well, it's the same thing. But, ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, this is the problem when I have with Trump making statements like that, because you have NBC that can go ahead and spread the propaganda that Donald Trump's bad. And ladies and gentlemen, it is annoying. It is crazy that we have MSNBC doing this. Now let's go on to another side, because I do have another story I want to get to concerning this. Okay, MSNBC says that this election isn't about policy or the economy. It's about preserving the democracy. You have some on the Democrat side asking for Biden to have more competitors. Because, ladies, let's go with that argument that, look, Donald Trump, we talk about the indictment. Donald Trump is bad. He's evil. He's the orange man. He has indictments. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, Biden has the same thing. And, look, the Democrats are having issues with that because, yeah, you're trying to call out Donald Trump, but your President Joe Biden, is doing the exact same thing. Now, there is a congressman, Don Phillips of Minnesota, said on Sunday when he was on the show Face the Nation that the Democrats... he's calling for more Democrats to enter in the 2024 primary race against President Joe Biden, making the argument that the party and the country are in need of competition. Philip declined to make the announcement about his own political aspirations during his appearance on CBS Face the Nation, but called on other Democrats to challenge Joe Biden. He made a quote, "Democrats are telling me that they want not a coronation, but they want a competition," he said. The New York Times poll from this week shows 55% of Democrat voters want some alternative to the current people in the primary. 83% of those under 30 Democrats under 30 went alternative, and about 76% of them are independent. If we do not heed this call, shame on us, the congressman continued. And the consequences, I believe, are going to be disastrous. So my call is to that those who are well positioned, well prepared, have good character and competition. Excuse me. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the greatest reader, and I apologize on that. They know what they are to jump in, because Democrats in the country need competition. It makes everything better. That's my call to them right now. Now, Phillips did praise Biden and called him an amazing man, and they led the country through extraordinary difficult times, but he argued that the Democrat Party, which is currently only have 3 candidates in the presidential primary, is doing the American people a disservice by not offering more choices. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason that they want more choices is not because Biden is a good candidate. If Biden was a good candidate, they would go ahead and keep him. But he's not a good candidate. As I said in my TikTok video this week, he stinks. He's a crappy president. This is why, and look, they don't like Robert Kennedy because Robert Kennedy leans more towards the right. He's more of a moderate than Biden is. And then the other candidate, we don't even know her name. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why this congressman wants somebody for a leftist in there. Because, you know, them 55% of people said they wish they had another candidate. They don't like Biden. They don't like everybody else. But if they had to come down to pins and needles, they probably would vote Robert Kennedy. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is why all of a sudden the media, because the media is trying to bash Donald Trump to where they think he can win, but at the same time, they want to have somebody in the back burner that can go ahead and help Joe Biden stay in that office, or at least get somebody not like Joe Biden. Because even this congressman said, well, Kamala Harris is a good choice. Kamala Harris has a worse rating than Joe Biden, which is, I would think it would be impossible, but it has happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what is this segment really about? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. The Democrats are trying to shut up. They're trying to shut up Trump. They're trying to call him a tyrant. while at the same time their candidate's doing it, now they're trying to say, look, we can't look like we're two-timers, so we're going to have to go ahead and get somebody in on our own way. And ladies and gentlemen, this race is heating up. The presidential race, look, the first primary debate, the GOP primary debate is coming up. I think it's this Wednesday or next. It's going to be, we better hear from the candidates. But ladies and gentlemen, we need to make sure, we need to make sure that we put the right person in place. And ladies and gentlemen, they're going after Trump. Like I said, I do disagree with Trump in some of his tweets, or not his tweets, no more, his X, but his X and his TruthSocial posts. But Donald Trump needs to do right, because the media is using every angle to try to stay in power. And us as citizens, we need to watch out not to let them stay in power. We need to do our job, go vote, and get these people out of office by voting. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back in a few moments. How you doing, everyone? Isaac Hayes here, host of Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative. Are you in the market for a new or used golf cart? Look no further. Cajun Cart has the karting companion you're looking for. Located at 3023 Northwest Avenger Thruway in Lafayette, Louisiana, Cajun Cart is your authorized club car, easy-go, Cushman, and Gorilla dealer. When dealing with Cajun Carts, you're not only purchasing a product or service, but you're also investing in the name. Serving the Acadiana area since 2003, Cajun Cart prides itself in superb customer service, top-notch rental, and best-in-class inventory. Give Cajun Carts a call today at 337-896-3411 or go check out their website, CajunCarts.com, to explore the options for your next karting adventure. Remember Cajun Carts when you're looking for your next golf cart, and tell them Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative sent you.
Cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this. And look, they're not paying us to do this or anything like that. I wish they would do advertisement with us on the BGS media platforms. But going back to Mark Levin's book. Mark Levin is putting out a book called The Democrat Party Hates America. And I really want to read it because, Mark Levin, Rush Limbaugh, some trailblazers in talk media. I think the reason we have talk podcasts, we have talk radio, and all that is because of Rush Limbaugh and to some extent, Mark Levin. Mark Levin followed Rush Limbaugh into this industry of talk radio, talk podcasts, and all that stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, he's coming out with his book, and I really want to read it because I feel somewhat the same way as Mark Levin. I have not read the book. Like I said, if Mark Levin's team would call and say, look, you want to advertise the book, I would gladly do that. They send me a copy and all. I've had that done already. I've had people contact me, send me advanced copies of their books, and I've read their books or somewhat of them. And, I get them on the air and we talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, this is, it's very easy to make that claim that the Democrat Party hates America. Why do I say that? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's funny how the Democrat Party always saying to people, we care about your rights. We care about you, the individual. We care about you. We want you to be free. We want y'all to live your life totally unto the government. I mean, not the government, live unto yourselves. And we respect your rights as American citizens. But the stories that I'm about to bring out kind of make me wonder, do they really care about our rights as American citizens? Because we had an article come out this week, and Jim Jordan has been releasing the Facebook files. Now he's called them that because of the Twitter files, where Elon Musk started releasing stuff showing that our federal government, or some in the federal government, were reaching out to these big tech companies and telling them, listen, you cannot go ahead, you should censor this, you should censor this, don't censor that, make sure this one isn't talked about, you should cancel this one. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a violation of the First Amendment, that the government would go to a corporation and tell them, you got to do this, 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 and this to limit the speech of American citizens. Look, this is why I like podcasting, because podcasting, you have a range of free speech. Now, there's some that we're on the platforms they do flag us. I've been flagged twice from one particular platform, and I've always got my content back, and I've never been more off there than a week. Now, when it happens, I let you, the audience, know. But ladies and gentlemen, the government has been dropping this, and this is what the Facebook files are. This is the third batch or the third edition of the Facebook files, where the Biden administration, this is from Daily Wire, pressured the social media giant to selfly speech the White House didn't like or take away, including limiting the Daily Wire on the reach on their platform and boosting a reach of legacy media outlets. Ladies and he pulls out this tweet and he says this, ladies and gentlemen, if true, because we have to always go with the assumption if true, which I believe it is. If the Biden administration was telling Facebook, in this sense, even, and then you can go into the other sense of X and Truth and all these other people, telling them you need to censor the Daily Wire, that is a violation of the First Amendment of freedom of speech and the freedom of the press. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason that the freedom of the press was given was for people like myself, the Daily Wire, Blaze, Fox News. If we have a story that is accurate and is truth, we can go ahead and tell you, the audience, to make you aware of things that are happening in this nation. The Biden administration didn't want. I've learned something in history. Well, it's just not history, but in my personal life. If you're going to expose somebody and they want you to shut up, 9 out of 10 is true. I've been in that situation already where I had a guest on my show and some things were said, and the people that I was pointing to got angry with me. And they called me a liar. They called me this. And I told them, come on the show. And you can come on the show and you can defend yourself. I'll give you the same quality. And they didn't want to do it. But they wanted to tell me that I was a liar and tell me you need to shut up and don't talk about that again. Ladies and gentlemen, normally when people tell me that, I'm like, I wonder if I hit a nerve for a right reason. Now, people don't want to be called liars. I understand that. But it's funny how the Biden administration went to these big tech companies and told them, censor the Daily Wire, censor people that does not fit with our agenda or don't fit with our truth. The bad thing about the Biden administration, their truth is mostly lies. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why I really wonder, do the Democrats really care about our rights? Do the Democrats really care that we have the freedom of speech or the freedom of religion or the freedom to bear arms? But and this answers my question when I read articles like this. Now, you on the left, you might be saying, well, Isaac, you are only quoting one article, and this has come from Jim Jordan. You shouldn't. How dare you say we don't care about your rights? Really? Well, let's talk about the Second Amendment. Now, I like to educate myself on the Second Amendment because I am a firearm holder. I also go ahead and hunt on occasion, and I love going out in the woods. I love hunting for game. I like doing that, and I pride myself in knowing what the Second Amendment says. I got a book on the Second Amendment. And ladies and gentlemen, the Second Amendment gives the right to bear arms. And Democrats don't come out and say, hey, we don't think Americans should have guns. Because if they do that, a lot of people will be up in arms, literally. Say, look, you're not taking away our firearms. So what the Democrats do is they try to make a law or pass a tax that will go ahead and limit the access to firearms. Isaac, that's hogwash. I can hear people on the left. Oh, Isaac, that's hogwash. We ain't never do that. Really, Fox News, more than 24 Democrats, House Democrats, put forth legislation Friday that would slap an assault weapons high-capacity magazine with 1,000% excess tax. A charge that would raise the price of a $500 weapon to $5,000 in a bid, listen here, to reduce access to guns across the nation. Representative Don Boyer of Virginia and 24 other Democrats introduced the legislation Friday. It is the second time the Democrats have put forward the idea. And the text of Boyer's new bill was not out as of the weekend, and it was unclear if any changes were made from the 2022 version. His bill from last year imposed a tax on any magazines or related devices that can accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition. The same 1,000% tax would impose on any semi-automatic assault weapons, which last year's bill defined as a semi-automatic rifle or pistol with the fixed magazine of 10 rounds or more, and they have also various features. Under the rule, a weapon that normally costs $2,000 would force the customer to pay more than $20,000. A change Breyer argued last year could help curb the pandemic of gun violence. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not about stopping gun violence. This is about control. I've said this multiple times on this platform. And ladies and gentlemen, how do you control people? Well, you take away their rights. You take away, look, I just mentioned about the First Amendment, Jim Jordan telling how the Biden administration and the Democrat Party was telling social media, hey, shut them up. Now they want to take away your firearms. Ladies and gentlemen, the First and the Second Amendment work together. If you took away the First Amendment, well, to protect the First Amendment, you have to have the Second Amendment. A lot of people don't realize that. If you're going to restrict people of their speech, that was the Second Amendment was for. It was to go ahead and protect your rights. Let's just say it like that. To protect you and your rights. The Founding Fathers believed that you had a God-given right to protect yourself. Why they put the Second Amendment into place. But when Democrats do this, now, like I said, they're not coming out, because I can hear the argument on the left. They will tell you, oh, well, Isaac, you see, we're not against guns. We think people should look, and you have access to guns. If you want to buy a $2,000 weapon, if you have $20,000 to pay the tax, well, guess what? You can pay the tax. And you can get your gun for $20,000. See, we're not against you having guns. It's kind of funny on this incident, too. They're always talking about the rich elite people. It's funny how only the rich elite people could buy guns at this tax. Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats don't want you to have rights. Because the Democrat Party is a socialistic party. They hate America, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I think there's some Democrats out there that love America. But the Democrat Party itself, the leaders, they don't like America. And it is with the riots of 2020, when they were going to pay people to get, when they were going to bail people out of jail to go back and riot. You don't love your country if you do that. And if you go ahead and want to pass a tax like this and also stop people from getting firearms, you don't love America, because you're trying to take America's people's rights. The Democrat Party, in the socialistic, communistic idea, think that the government should be in charge. The Democrat Party, the government should be the only one that have guns, and you, the peasant, the listener of this show, this is what the Democrats think about you. They think you shouldn't have nothing. You shouldn't be able to talk. You shouldn't be able to have a gun. They believe in taking away your rights. Isaac, how dare you say that? Huh? I can hear people on the left, because they like to debate me, and they like to say, we're not against taking guns, but they do stuff like this. Actions speak louder than words. And ladies and gentlemen, for House Democrats to put this legislation back into play when there's no chance of it passing is disturbing to me. We're not against people having guns, but they're going to do this. It's the same thing with the Biden administration and the Democrat Party with Jim Jordan and Facebook. We think people should have the freedom of choice. I know I've got emails from certain platforms that tried to censor me, and they say, well, we believe in free speech, but we don't believe in hate speech. And I can agree to a certain extent on that. But the First Amendment was not to protect the one not to protect the ones you agree with. It was to protect the ones you disagree with. And I'm learning that right now. Look, I have friends. I follow him on TikTok, the liberal trucker. We had him on this show. The liberal trucker, I'm using him for example, can go ahead on TikTok and say what he wants. Now, but at the same time, and I know he agrees with me on that. At the same time, he shouldn't go ahead and say I should say everything and you shouldn't say nothing. And vice versa. I shouldn't come in this microphone and say, look, every conservative should have a podcast or a show and speak their mind, but all the liberals need to get off the air. Now, at the same time, I can go ahead and talk about what they say and why I disagreed with it. Same thing with firearms. It's funny how the government's the only ones that can have firearms and have the freedom to bear arms, but you as the individual, no. And ladies and gentlemen, look, going back to Mark Levin's book, I can't wait to read it. But if it goes the way I'm thinking he's going to go in the book, I can see why. This is when stuff happens like this, you wonder, does the Democrat Party hate America? And it's sad. Their actions are speaking louder than their words. All right, let's move on. We have another story of somebody being restricted of their speech. And if you remember, it's funny how this story came out. The other day, I talked about a recreation center, I believe in Illinois or Ohio, something like that. And I talked about how these people were showing young boys how to be drag queens. Now, if it was a private funded place, I could say, I don't agree with it, but it's privately owned. But it's funny how I got word in the news article how this was a public funded facility. They started the recreation center and they asked the government for help. And I'm not against that if the government wants to help. But they, on a weekly basis, was showing kids how to be drags. And I made the statement how if they had a Christian, I even use me as an example. If I call them and say, look, I want to go minister for 15 minutes, just talk about Jesus, give the gospel to these young boys, it would stir up arms. We'd probably have people protesting me. We have people saying that I'm indoctrinating these kids. And I said, look, listen to me. I see how that work. Well, not at that facility, but I have a article that came across my desk, and it's titled "Canceled." Kirk Cameron and Riley Gaines learn Alabama library cannot host them at Saturday book event. So a little bit of content. Kirk Cameron, Riley Gaines, and a few other, I think Misty Robinson and others have teamed up with a book company, which is a Christian book company, and they've written these children's books with spiritual lessons. They went ahead and did it in a way to where it would give godly principles. I don't know without mentioning God or whatever. I believe it mentions God in it. These are all Christians and they love their faith. They love their faith, so they go ahead and they've done this. And Kirk Cameron has been a vocal point on this because he has been going out to libraries, and this isn't the first time libraries have tried to cancel him. He has a while back, it was 3 or 4 libraries he was fighting. Now the library evidently caved, according to Fox News. Alabama library caves after Brave Books and Kirk Cameron stands up to its attempt to deny Americans a venue. So going to the point with this, the library is a public facility. Now we have public libraries here, and if I want to hold a book club or if I want to hold something like that, they are not supposed to deny me, and they're supposed to go ahead and give this. But the library went ahead and released a statement on Wednesday afternoon that it would no longer accommodate the book reading event due to concerns about the logistics and the security as popularity of the event grew. Almost immediately afterward, Cameron and Brave Books challenged the decision to cancel it. Now, after the law firm First Liberty Institute sent a letter to the library system saying it would prepare to vindicate this violation of our civil rights, client civil rights in court, the library reversed course, Fox News Digital was told on Friday afternoon. So what happened with this, ladies, the popularity of this book signing started to grow. And I learned something with the left. The left don't mind. Let me use, for example, like this podcast. The left probably don't mind about this podcast if I reach 100 here, 100 there, Let me go ahead and reach 50,000 an episode, which praying one day that happens. Or 100,000 people an episode on the podcast. Let a national syndicate radio program called a radio host site or whatever, a company, let me say, like, a radio company that puts out national syndicate radio shows, and they tell me, Mr. Hayes, we want to put out the Cajun Conservative throughout all the nation. I would start getting heated. That's when the left would start saying, hold on, he's reaching popularity. Let's shut him up. Remember, we're going back to, they don't like us having our rights. And that's what happened with this. See, when it was a small, not that big of an event, all of a sudden, now they were worried about the legalistics of it, the logistics of it, the security of it. They didn't want it. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole issue of why they didn't want Kirk, there was two issues why they didn't want Kirk Cameron in that place. One, his book promotes God and the Lord Jesus Christ and talks about salvation. Two, they don't want a big time celebrity coming to their library with Christian values and outdo their drag queen shows. You get what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? And look, I don't know. I didn't see no pictures of Saturday because this happened last Saturday. But ladies and gentlemen, these events, they have lines for miles and miles of people that want to see Kirk. Look, and as a library, you have Kirk Cameron coming. That's a big event. Look, you're gonna get people to the library. That's why I don't understand. But it's not about getting the library publicity. It's about stopping conservatives and Christians from sharing their opinions and their faith, or their beliefs and their faith. See, it's okay for a sinner to in up north to teach kids how to be dragged, not once a month, not twice a month, but every week, showing them how to be dragged. But a library in Alabama is telling Kirk Cameron, no, it's security purposes. And then I like how the left and left-leaning people do this. They try, the security, the logistics, they try to make excuses. And when in reality, they just don't want him there because the demons that are living in them people think, we don't want the gospel to be put out. But it's okay. I bet you a 9 out of 10. If a drag queen would say, I want to go read the kids the gays ABCs, yes, we're here. You're a public citizen. You have every right to this facility. But it's funny when a Christian comes up to these libraries and asks to read a book, the logistics and the security and every other problem in the book comes up. Christians have to jump through ropes and jump through hoops and probably walk on coals of fire to get their stuff out there. But drag queens and things that will really ruin kids' lives, that's fine. Come on in. Just reminds me of what Isaiah said. What they're going to call good evil and evil good. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our final break of this show. We'll be right back in a few moments. How you doing, everyone? Isaac Hayes here, host of Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative. Are you in the market for a new or used golf cart? Look no further. Cajun Cart has the karting companion you're looking for. Located at 3023 Northwest Avenger Thruway in Lafayette, Louisiana, Cajun Cart is your authorized club car, easy-go, Cushman, and Gorilla dealer. When dealing with Cajun Carts, you're not only purchasing a product or service, but you're also investing in the name. Serving the Acadiana area since 2003, Cajun Cart prides itself in superb customer service, top-notch rental, and best-in-class inventory. Give Cajun Carts a call today at 337-896-3411 or go check out their website, CajunCarts.com, to explore the options for your next karting adventure. Remember Cajun Carts when you're looking for your next golf cart, and tell them Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative sent you.
You're my peace of mind when this old world seems to get me down.
Yes, sir. When this world gets me down, Jesus brings me back up. Amen. On that note, give a shout out to Lanny Hayes, Phil Kennedy, and Eric Hayes for the bumper music. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that are in variety of job application, jobs or talents that they have, and Two of them, my uncle and my dad, great musicians, great singers. And then you have Phil Kennedy from Baton Rouge, Red Stick. If you're not from the state of Louisiana, you know, like Red Stick. That's what Baton Rouge means. So, on all another educated shit. I'm trying to tell you how to say the words right, and I messed my words up. No, on education on how to say New Orleans. I hear a lot of people when they talk to me from out of state, they say New Orleans. It's not New Orleans, it's New Orleans. Like they say Baton Rouge, it's Baton Rouge. You have to say it right. I've even had people say Lafayette. It's Lafayette, not Lafayette. And I understand, look, on that note, I had someone tell me a while back, they said, Isaac, you ever try to lose your accent? And I don't even know if I can if I tried. But, there's a lot of people in other states. They're like, man, y'all talk funny. Well, we have an accent down here. We it's our personality. It's our, our way of life. And, this is where we're from. And, hey, I remember, and nothing against my friends from Texas. I remember I was for a youth event, and we were sitting in line for a ride when we was at Six Flags. I think it was over Texas back in Dallas. And then somebody tapped me on the shoulder and with a very thick Texas accent asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from Louisiana. He goes, I could tell you have an accent. And I heard I mean the thick Texas accent. And I'm like, you do too. So, but anyway, not to make fun. It's just some people, hey, out of state, they don't know how us Cajun talk. How we talk. Let's say it like that. See, like I said, I'm trying to educate on the way we say words, and I'm messing them up. I apologize. All right, let's move on with the stories. Kirk Cameron was not the only one that was canceled this week. We had a NASCAR driver that was suspended. Now, just not suspended for 1 race, 2 race, 3 race, was indefinitely suspended for liking a George Floyd meme. Now, if you want to remember who George Floyd was, the Summer of Love, George Floyd was the guy, unfortunately, that got his neck. The cop put his knee on his neck, and he died in the middle of the streets. There was a lot of controversy around his death, but that sparked great riots in cities. This was the time when you had CNN saying this was a mostly peaceful protest, and you had the burning building in the back. But anyway, it just, George Floyd, it was a lot of controversy around his death. Now, NASCAR and Legacy Motor Club have suspended driver Noah Grayson over his action on social media. NASCAR confirmed to Fox News that the suspension is related to a meme making fun of the death of George Floyd, a post which Grayson had liked. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, this is the whole thing. Grayson didn't say anything. He didn't share the post. All he did was like the post. Now, I have not seen the post. I don't know how sensitive it is. But Noah Grayson, we have made a decision. This is the NASCAR organization. We have made the decision to suspend Noah Grayson effectively immediately regarding his actions that do not represent the values of our team. Legacy Motors Club said Josh Berry will drive the number 42 entry for this weekend's NASCAR Cup Series race in Michigan. That was last week. NASCAR then announced the indefinite suspension for Grayson for violating the members' conduct section of the NASCAR rulebook. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Grayson did make a statement. I am disappointed in myself and my lack of attention and actions on social media. Grayson posted to Twitter, I understand the severity of this situation. I love and appreciate everyone. I try to treat everyone equally, no matter who they are. I messed up, plain and simple. It will be the 9th Cup Series start for Barry, and they talk about the guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, liking a post. He didn't say nothing about the post. He didn't say, no, he just liked the post. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at the irony of this. I'm a big Saints fan, but they made news that Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended for 3 games for something that happened in Las Vegas during the Pro Bowl. Now, I don't know what the accusation was or with a crime or whatever. It was something involving a woman. I know. I don't know if it's domestic violence or whatever. I haven't looked into that deep into that. I'm a big Saints fan, but I'm not that deep into it. But the thing of it is, ladies and gentlemen, Alvin Kamara is probably going to be suspended for 3 games for something that involved violence. You have NFL, you have NBA, probably NASCAR. A lot of people have done bad things in these sports, but they will get suspended 1 season, 3 games, 10 games, and they always are welcome back. Okay. Now, does this justify this driver being suspended? No, but at the same time, he should have probably been careful what he post or what he liked or post or whatever. I understand that point. But he's been indefinitely suspended for liking a meme. While you have other people in his profession and probably other professions in sports that have done way worse, more crimes than liking a post. And they get to go back and play the sport. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with you. The NASCAR and his team, 9 out of 10 would have not gotten wind of this if it wasn't because of George Floyd. Now, like I said, I have not seen the meme. I'm not going to say if it was wrong or right. It just, the thing that gets me, ladies and gentlemen, is that this man, his livelihood, his profession, his career is probably in the tank now because he hit the like button on a post about an individual, yes, that was wrongfully killed. But they ruined his life because they couldn't have told him, hey, look, remove your like, issue an apology, and we're going to let you race on stuff. No, because it was against George Floyd, and it went against a narrative of the left. And the NASCAR and his team, didn't want to offend people. That's what it sounded like. You're indefinitely gone. Your livelihood is scratch. All because he liked a post. While you have men, like, look, I'm not trying to bring down the character of Alvin Kamara or any other person that played in the NFL and NBA and all them people, but come on. You have men that have done worse crimes that should have went to jail but got a slap on the wrist because they carry a piece of pork skin down a 120-yard pasture and celebrate at the end of it. Got a slap on the wrist. This person, like I said, this guy is probably his career is ruined. Yes, you have to put it at fault of him. He should have. I shouldn't like that post. But I don't think he thought, well, it's just a post. I'm just gonna like it. Could you imagine somebody liking a post? You liking a post, and your boss like, come here. You like that post? You're fired. This guy's whole career is ruined. Because he hit like. Now, like I said, I can understand, all right, what was in the content of the picture or the meme? I don't know. But still, for hitting a like button, and because the name had George Floyd on it, they're going to go ahead and strip this man of his career. It's ironic to me that you have this, that you have this man being canceled because liking a post. And like I said, I don't know what it was about. The Fox News, Daily Wire, I looked for the story, I looked for the meme, can't find the meme. But come on, NASCAR, really, suspending this man indefinitely and ruining his career, all because he hit the like button. It's sad what a nation we live in, huh? Sad what a nation we live in. All right, Nancy Pelosi annoyed by MSNBC's question about impeaching Biden. With all due respect, this is frivolous. That was Nancy Pelosi's response to a question. Again, she was, like I said, she was on MSNBC. She was asked a question about her being impeaching Trump, and it got to a point where they asked about the current speaker, and she just said so-called potential impeachment is frivolous and diversity tactics. Pelosi also declared it is evidence that Republicans have nothing to offer the American people. So, ladies and gentlemen, reading this story, let's go back in history. Not that long. I know some of us millennials and some of us Gen X, we don't have a long attention span. So I'm not going to take you that far into history, but I'm going to take you back into history of 2019. When House Speaker Nancy Pelosi heard about a phone call that Donald Trump gave to Ukraine, that sent to Ukraine. And he just asked for some evidence. Now, Donald Trump gave the money. It wasn't a quid pro quo. It was just one leader asking another leader for help. Nancy Pelosi went all bonkers and started the impeachment inquiry of then President Donald Trump. Let's go back. Let's go a little bit after that in 2021. After January 6th and the so-called insurrection of the Capitol. Remember the one that Donald Trump's indicted for right now? Nancy Pelosi, being the House Speaker that she was, rushed through an impeachment of Donald Trump. Why? Because they knew in 4 years, it was no secret, that Donald Trump would run for the presidency again. And if Donald Trump would win, hell would break loose. I remember I talked about my concerns in the first segment. But Nancy Pelosi, being the person that she is, rushed to impeachment. And it was dividing the nation. Even some of the Republican Party, me included, still remembers what some senators did. Like me, Senator Bill Cassidy, voted for the impeachment because he thought it wasn't constitutional, but he did it anyway. Shows a lot about his character and a lot about other people's characters in Washington. But Nancy Pelosi, being the House Speaker she was, took that upon herself. And it wasn't political, according to her. It was the right thing to do. I'm going to use my Joe Biden's still voice. It was the right thing to do. But now I got loud. You're probably like, what did he say? Ow, my ear. Now, though, that the Republicans are trying to get to the bottom of the Biden family synagogue and the Biden family crimes. And they're taking their time doing it. That's one thing I will say with the Republican Party. It's slow, but at least they're getting up all the evidence to where it'll be hard for a Democrat to say, no. But when asked by MSNBC of this potential impeachment, oh, it's the Republicans. They don't have nothing for the American people. This is frivolous. This is diversity. This is stupid. I can hear Nancy Pelosi thinking in her head. Oh, I can't believe it. Nancy Pelosi should have retired a long time ago, but it's just, ladies and gentlemen, it's funny. And it always bothered me when I saw this. The Democrat Party can call for impeachments. They can call for election integrity. They can challenge elections. And it's all justified. MSNBC, CBS, and all these news networks justify all this stuff with the Democrat Party. But when the Republican Party does the exact same thing, it's diversity. It's as she says, they have nothing to offer the American people. They're just going after Joe Biden because of political reasons. Like the Democrats never went after a political opponent to stop him from running. 3 indictments. That's all I'm going to say. 3 indictments. Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Pelosi is aggravated at the House Republicans because they're putting forth the impeachment processes. Are they looking into impeaching Joe Biden? It just shows that they don't have nothing for the American people. What does the Democrat Party have for the American people? High taxes? High inflation? High gas prices? You can't buy food? That's what you have to offer us as the American citizens? No, you know what the Democrat Party can offer in America is bribery, scandals. Now, I'm not giving a free pass to the Republican Party. They got a lot of problems in their jukebox. But for Nancy Pelosi to go on a national television station and say that the Republicans don't have nothing to offer the American people is hogwash. You know why she's aggravated at this? Because she knows what Biden did, operating as a foreign agent, was wrong, and it can hurt the American. It can hurt America and the American citizen. The House Speaker that don't want. He don't have nothing to offer, and they're going after Biden because of political reasons. Why are you going after Donald Trump? Ladies and look, left-leaning people will not comprehend that. Oh, they're going after Biden because of political reasons. What you think the Democrat Party's doing? The vote impeachment of Donald Trump, where there was no evidence that he did anything wrong and they impeached him, was because of political reasons. My goodness. And look, I got a picture of her smirking right here. I'm just... They don't like the talks of impeachment. That's a stain on a president. And ladies and gentlemen, for her to say this is frivolous and diverse and it don't help the American people, she needs to get her head examined. But we know that everybody in Washington, especially on the Democrat side, are, oh, that's farts. And they can't get nothing done. It just bothers me that we have, and look, people won't see this. This is what bothers me before I get to my last story of the day. This is what bothers me about people on the left. They can see something that is so evident that they're wrong. Or they can go ahead and look at some, and it's been proven that the way they think is not right. And they still will go ahead and say they're right. You can be proven you're wrong, but the people on the left, they swear up and down because Nancy Pelosi said it, or because Biden said it, or somebody said it, that it's right and it's gospel, and you cannot go ahead and change it. You can be proven wrong, but you're still right. That's how the left operates. All right, moving on. The Biden administration, and this impacts us here in Louisiana a lot, because gasoline is a real issue for us here in Louisiana. We have the Gulf of Mexico. This is why a lot of our gas prices are sitting well below the national average, because we're out off the coast. We can get gas here real easy because of the Gulf. We're used to. But this story really hits home for us. And look, I'm going to say this about Biden. I don't know. You know, a president usually tries to help his nation. Not our president. Our president tries to help everybody else's nation except us. Why do I say that? Well, the Biden administration proposed a plan to lock up nearly 1.6 million acres of public land from oil and gas development across the western Colorado, in response to multiple legal challenges filed by the environmental group. In a draft supplemental environmental impact statement announced Thursday, the Bureau of Land Management issued so-called resource management plans for its Grand Junction field office and Colorado River Valley field office, which oversees mineral leasings in the area. The proposal will restrict the two offices to leasing just 239,000 acres and 143,000 acres, reportedly for fossil fuel production, a total reduction of about 80%. Ladies and gentlemen, because of environmental groups that think you should eat grass and think you should drive an electric vehicle while they are driving gas-powered vehicles to save the planet, Biden is catering to these people and saying, well, you think it's bad, so we're going to reduce the oil production in Colorado. He's taking away 1.6 million acres. Ladies and gentlemen, does this president know that we need oil to survive? Down to the smallest thing. You need oil to produce that. Now, this is a question I have because he's proposing to restrict all this oil lands. Where are we going to get our oil from? From China? From Saudi Arabia? Ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of funny. These countries don't care about the climate. And we're like, well, if we stop here, stop drilling oil, we're going to save the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, it goes to a metaphor like this. I'm going to say it like that. Okay, look, Scott, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to use me and Scott Ford, for example. Scott, faithful listener, and also a guest on the show ever so often. Me and Scott says we're going to dig a hole. Or Scott says, hey, I'm going to dig a hole. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to get a shovel, and I'm going to help you. Scott starts digging the hole, and he throws the dirt behind him. I'm behind Scott, not seeing. I take the dirt, and I put it back in the hole. That's what this is. And you might be saying, well, how does that relate to this? This is what Biden needs to think about. Okay, you're going to stop oil production here. You're going to save the planet. But China's taking the dirt and putting it right back in the hole because they're polluting the planet, apparently. So how does this benefit America? It don't. It benefits China. It benefits or whoever else is an oil producer. Saudi Arabia, Korea, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bonkers. This man is going to cripple our nation to please other countries. Now, we know he has a tend of doing that because the Hunter Biden scandal and all that, because Biden has already said he cares about the world's economy and cares about world events, but not America. And ladies and gentlemen, look, I can hear the left. Oh, Isaac, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. No, I'm not. Because this isn't the first time he's done this. He has restrict oil leasing in the Gulf. He has restrict oil leasing in, I think, Michigan and all the other places. Now he's doing it in Colorado. Why? Because he wants to please his friends on the far left. And he thinks he's saving the planet by stopping our oil. And like I said, this is the ironic thing about it. I've always asked this question to environmentalists. As America, we need to stop the drilling. We need to stop fossil fuels. So if the other side of the world don't do it, so when the world burns up, it's going to stop right when it gets to America and we save America with half a planet? No. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bonkers. This is stupid. This is idiotic. But I hate to say this, and it goes back to my point. The Democrats don't love America. And when they do stuff like this, I wonder if they really want America to fall. It's sad that I've come to that conclusion, but actions speak louder than words. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show. I want to again thank you for all you support and love. And please remember, if this is your first time listening, consider hitting the subscribe button or the follow button. Also hit the bell on YouTube. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. Remember, Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart because he has already overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus, your Lord and Savior, reach out to me. I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one.
And he is the open door.